I don't want to talk about it. Them takes are not valid.
That's hate.
People like you and.
I've been sipping on ricotta, gon' pop me a bottle, pour me up a drink. Yeah, she been sipping on ricotta, gon' pour her a bottle, pour her up a drink, pour us up a drink. A ricotta, we gon' have a drink of ricotta. Everybody drinking ricotta. Get you some ricotta. Oh, I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. Ricotta or more. Drink like a boss.
Yeah, black excellence. I am excellently black with intelligence. I am heaven sent.
You are now tuned in to the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast.
It's like you gotta know what Chili wants though.
I said that's a long ass list, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. I got a list of demands written on the palm of my hands.
You know, my list had to be that big for my 12,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I got a list of demands written on the palm of my hands. You know, it's some rock song. I know that.
Rage in the Machine.
We ain't all trap music over here. Yeah, I think that was Rage Against the Machine.
I can't hear myself.
Y'all heard me?
Because they went on tour with Wu-Tang, right?
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine went on tour with Wu-Tang.
Yeah, so that's
you heard me?
I
My list had to be that long for my 12,000 followers on Instagram.
That's cute.
It's up in the stuff.
Cute.
It's up in the stuff.
That's how we're flexing.
It's up in the stuff.
That's what we're on.
In 2 days.
Those are the vibes.
In 2 days. 1,000 to 11.5K.
We'll take it.
I'm famous.
I guess. Is congratulations in order, dude? How does this work exactly? I don't know. How does this work? Do we hand clap that?
Well, he could be
got
like,
the whammy.
Is Don Armelon Christopher? Is he buying his followers? As they say?
Actually, I actually am not.
Don't tell me you bought a blue check mark.
No, not the blue check.
Listen. Yeah. If I bought a blue check mark, I'd probably be in LA right now.
So you bought the pod. You paid the pod.
No.
You paid the pod.
No.
Is there something wrong with buying the blue check mark?
Yes.
I'm not about it, dude. I feel like you got to earn that shit.
I think so too. I worked very hard for mine, and the fact that they're selling them to people now makes me feel away. Actually, I can't front. I feel away. I worked very hard for mine.
I probably would have had a blue check given my page. Never got to
well, you should behave yourself, Tim. No, I think it's you. No, you should behave yourself.
He was hating on you.
Mark was definitely
Zucky hating.
Or were you hating on yourself?
I mean, you've been a Facebook prison a number of times. Exactly. You are a habitual offender.
Facebook,
what they call
Facebook chinchita.
Yeah.
You've been there a few times.
Habitual offender.
To the woman's lesson the first time.
To the woman's correctional facility.
Have y'all ever heard a judge sentence a motherfucker? It is so.
Yeah, you heard
it's depressing.
You heard about the judge the one judge that sentenced you by how many birds outside his window. You heard about dude?
We got.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one here.
Sorry. You do that.
So he tells. It's a judge here. He tells you like, look out the window, and then a dude be looking out the window, and he be like, how many birds do you see on my windowsill?
I don't see
and let's say you count, and you be like, shit, 5. He be like, all right, you got 5 years.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known before then.
But it's always some out there. He feeds them. He like puts food out there to make sure it's some out there.
Your Honor, there are no birds outside.
By bird, what do you mean, Your Honor?
Yeah, like you talking about a chicken head?
Birds?
It's a lot of bird bitches outside. If that's what you're talking about.
You know what, Your Honor? That's just.
What?
We just got canceled.
And we're gone anyway. We were gone anyway.
That was he was gonna lock me up anyway. What difference do it make? Okay, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. We are here, we are back, we are live, we are lit. It's Wednesday.
You know what? I'm mad.
Episode 179.
I'm mad we cussed before we were supposed to.
No, we passed the intro time.
Let this man do his thing, brother.
We passed the. Yeah, we passed the intro time.
Did you? I think it's a little bit longer, but wait, I'll know for sure next week.
I love that. I'm usually like, Don.
That's for our YouTube audience. We apologize.
No swearing is what I gotta know.
Yeah,
I guess in the Yeah, we good now, but I guess like in the intros, YouTube put out this thing where they don't want you swearing in your intros anymore for like the first 45
it's getting real
seconds.
communist out here.
Facts. And I'm gonna ask you more about that because I know you know all the details about that type of shit. So,
do you know how long it is?
First 15 seconds are key on YouTube.
First 15 seconds, okay.
But I've even seen it like no jumper. They send out a text where it's like for the first 15 minutes, no swearing, no blunts, no nothing. So weed, YouTube is really scared of weed as well.
They're scared of weed.
Yeah.
So Leor Cohen came over there with all this Jew activity.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm fucking
Jewish activity.
Yeah, Jewish, whatever you want to call it. I'm not signed to Adidas. I don't give a fuck about saying that shit. I said what I said. But he did bring the money over there, but he also brought the rules and regulations over there too.
He was keeping it kosher, dude.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
I love it. I love the timing. Lit.
The comedic timing of our guest today. Yeah. So on that note, man, like I said, if you're just tuning in, this is episode 179 of the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. Shout out to my Facebook people. You know what the fuck going on. Please share this everywhere that you can. My Twitter people, please retweet this. We are live there also. And we are also live on YouTube right now. If you're there, hit the like, subscribe, notification button so you can know what's going on over here at the good old Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna waste no time because I think this is gonna be a lengthy show because of who our guest is today. So I'm gonna get right into it. Riding with me, shotgun, always hold me down. Say what up to the people, Don.
Hi, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my hands. I don't know where they go.
Yeah. On that note, my other co-host, riding shotgun, hold me down.
What's going on, people?
What's going on, people?
I'm here.
He didn't let you get your fake radio voice.
He wouldn't let me do my thing.
Your fake radio DJ voice.
Yeah, but I'm here. How y'all doing?
You know what I'm saying? So, and today, we got a guest in the building. I see people already in the comments saying who he is. It was interesting. Shout out to somebody we had on the show a couple weeks ago, Kayla Simone. After the episode, we were talking about.
I thought she was supposed to come.
Yeah, I thought she was supposed to come. I don't know, but we'll get into that that's here nor there. I do appreciate what she did, though.
I do.
And before I introduce our guest, I want to give her flowers first.
I just miss her.
After the show, we were talking, about YouTubers and getting your YouTube up and Wisconsin YouTubers and people who pop in Wisconsin and YouTube. And Tommy, our guest name came up and she was like, oh, I can get him on the show. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh shit, you can. And then probably about 3-4 days later, she like, I reached out to him. He can't do next week, but he can do in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, all right, bet. So long story short, our guest today, YouTuber sensation. I watched this dude over the last 2-3 years, 2-3 years completely transform his content online and completely can transform who he is in his life, damn near. Off of content creation. So today's guest is the infamous YouTuber Tommy G. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to our guest today.
Good round of applause, please.
Yes.
Still trying to figure out what to do with my hands.
Woo! Things are fucking happening right now, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good time to be alive.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic, dude. I feel like life is beautiful. I'm loving where I'm at. I get to meet interesting people every day. I get to enjoy the city, and I'm excited to talk to you guys.
I guess I had some other shit on here, but we ain't gonna waste no time because I see the people in the comments are antsy. Get right to it.
Yeah.
So I guess I get right to what made you infamous. Me, I'm a YouTube guy. Don to tell you we're YouTube junkies. So I know YouTube people who aren't famous, semi-famous, popping on their way up. I feel like I got a pretty good thumb on the pulse of that. So I've been watching you for a minute. You didn't become popular to me because of the Kia Boy documentary. I already knew that you were doing documentaries. Like I told you, I seen the Northridge Mall documentary that you did, and I thought that was fascinating and didn't even know you were from Wisconsin when I first saw it. The Kia Boy documentary, the blowback from that, the popularity, the infamous, your name buzzing now, everybody know who you are. Give me something about that. Let me know.
I mean, it's been absolutely wild because I was doing this consistently for 4 years, really hustling, really putting myself out there, taking risks, doing really tough and different ideas, everything from running a marathon with no training, to shooting an iPhone and returning it to a Verizon, to like whatever crazy thing I could think of, I did. And for 4 years, I was just inching my way up, but I really wasn't making it happen. And then as soon as I pivoted to documentaries, the first time to a strip club documentary, Kia Boys, Northridge Mall, then it just, the path became very clear. And it's been fantastic. I'm traveling the country, going to be traveling the world, talking to all sorts of interesting people. I've been in backyards where there's punk rock fight clubs happening. Was with Babytron a week ago.
In Detroit.
I was just with Muslims celebrating Ramadan and fasting and going to the mosque. So I just get to tap into all sorts of interesting people. But it really, really started with the Kia Boys. That's what set everything off.
Okay.
There's a guy in our comments, Vaughn Mays, who I was in the studio with the other day. He told me to skewer you. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask the tough questions because I feel like we don't do that a lot, right? What made you pivot to doing documentaries about Black people?
Have you seen my channel?
I've seen a little bit, yeah.
So I think that's a bit of like, tell me what makes you think that I just do documentaries about Black people?
Well, you started your documentaries with Black people.
Okay.
Well, let's ask it in this way. So when you are saying, okay, I moved to a more docu-style type vlogging on my YouTube channel, and when we were looking and going into places like Northridge, we're going into looking at all of the different areas. You may go into not just, traveling, or you may go into a cell phone store to do your pranks. When you pivot from, that to your docu-style, and now we've included groups like the Kia Boys, and then you're going into the inner city of Milwaukee, what intrigued you about doing a docu-series?
What intrigued me about teenage kids stealing hundreds of cars, getting away with it, going crazy in a city? I think it's obvious. I mean, I don't understand what the controversy is about interviewing these guys. I really don't.
So let me explain. Let me explain why it's a controversy about it. Right? It's because obviously you were doing YouTube for monetary gain. You're doing YouTube videos. This is what you wanted to get into.
I didn't make shit on YouTube. I paid out of pocket to do YouTube for years, and just when I start to get successful, people want to get upset about it. It's bullshit.
Well, again, remember you pivoted from what you were doing on YouTube to something different. So they're saying, okay, you didn't make no money doing this other shit, but as soon as you got the Kia Boys on there, you started making money. So it's a valid question.
Okay.
You may not like the question.
No, I think
but
it's just a ridiculous question. I really do. So what are you getting at with the question? Like, what is your intent with the question?
Okay.
I want to more, because I think we're going faster into it than we should, because we got to back up, because at the same time, I think I don't think you mean any harm in what you're doing. I don't think that
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. From you sitting here and spending time with us, I don't think you meant any harm.
Yes.
But I have to ask these questions
because people want to know.
I talked to Vaughn on his show a long time ago. So
to clear the confusion, we just like to ask these kind of questions, not necessarily even this is how we feel, but it's people in the comment section. It's people who wrote
a couple people out there.
Yeah, a couple people.
Okay, so we can talk about a couple people.
But not necessarily
it's not a couple.
It's not a couple. Because what I want to get for both ends, both the community who has concerns and also it can be an educational experience.
Absolutely.
Right? So if we're having a conversation about having a docu-style vlogging, right, and you're with the Kia Boys, there's a number of things you've done. Northridge wasn't a small feat either.
Right.
I thought that was phenomenal.
It was really good.
So if you have that, what I'm saying is what intrigues you, not just necessarily saying these kids are stealing cars and getting away with it. What makes you say, I want to take my channel in this direction?
I've always been like that. I mean, ever since I was a kid, like I've been a kid that's just stuck in the library reading about all sorts of stuff. When I was in college, I went and lived with a tribe in the jungle of Ecuador. I've always thought about working for someone like Vice Media and just traveling and seeing the craziest, most interesting aspects of life. And so I guess I don't get where the question is coming from, because if anyone does their research on my channel, I feel like I have some of the most diverse ranges of video topics that there is. So I'm not just a hood vlog channel.
No, so I thought that was what when a lot of people were alarmed at the documentary.
Alarmed about what?
Like
though?
I said, they had never seen you before.
What was the issue of
I'll
talking
tell
to the
you,
Kia boys?
there's no issue in speaking to the Kia boys,
Okay.
right? But when you have a docuseries, you say, I'm going to use my platform to share these stories. We have to make sure that we're also, while we show what the Kia boys have going on, there are things that are affecting them that they are not even aware of, right?
Sure, 100%.
And so when you are going in and you're taking your documentary in, or you're going to have a documentary on these group of people, when you're missing those root causes of how these things are happening, how these kids are actually getting away with it, not more so because they don't necessarily know. They know they're getting away with it, but there are policies as to the reason why kids weren't being pursued in those cars, right?
Yeah.
They may not necessarily be aware of it, but there are policies as to those reasons.
Okay.
And I think when you are going into these areas and you're seeing these impacts, then you're also responsible to make sure that you show the other side of that, right?
So I have another video that was in Milwaukee, the most incarcerated zip code in the world.
Yeah,
where I talk to people on the street. I go to a nonprofit. Kia boys just so happen to pull up in that video too. But so I guess the issue that I guess I still don't understand the issue.
How old are you? How old are you?
29.
Okay, so you're 29. So let me explain. Let me explain. I don't want to cut you off, Scales.
Yeah.
But let me get to it. We live in a country that has exploited black people and for money, for monetary gain, for 400 years.
So are you saying I exploited black people?
We're not saying that. See, but these are why the questions get asked.
But because I am. But I'm not saying you did it intentionally, and that's why I said like, this can be an education.
Did you feel like these kids were exploiting the community that they stole 200 to 300 cars from?
I
find it hilarious that that's not addressed.
Showing
up with a video camera.
Even Miss Logan said in the comments, she says if he was a black man, if a black man did it first, would this even be questioned? And
it would be question. It would be exploitation for anybody to do it. If you are leaving, hold on. It would be exploitation for anybody to do it. And let me finish my statement.
If Mixtape Trappers made that documentary, it would not be no big deal at all.
I agree with that.
I have sat on this same table and said that there is hip hop and held accountable hip hop artists who poison the community. And that is, I'll say the same for anybody, but I don't think that was your intention. So that's why I keep saying that. I don't think that's your intention.
Right.
So what I'm trying to give you the understanding of is when it is lacking, right, of all of it in that moment, you can say, yes, I did another video where I did this. But if people are watching that Kia boy video and that's at the million views that it is, I may not click your next video.
And that's okay. You know what? There are going to be, I don't expect someone to watch every single video I've done, but I can go to sleep so easy at night and not like all these things you're bringing up. I mean, if you even just go through my last 10 videos, it's easy. I mean, my work's out there. It's easy to research. So anyone that says that, it's like, okay, like you just haven't done your research.
It's more of a, even if I watch all your videos, you had a video where you were speaking with the underground people of Arizona. So when we say we've watched your video.
So if I watch a white crackhead shooting up heroin or smoking crack in a trap house in Chicago, no one's saying that I'm exploiting anybody.
I would say if you are there and you're talking about a white crackhead in Chicago, and the only reason that you are there is to get views on YouTube, that's exploitation. Yes, it is. But if we want to move forward and speak directly about this situation, then what we're saying is you have to give the full story. What your docuseries did, and while it had an opportunity for those boys to be able to speak from their own experience, right? Which I think is, thank you for that.
I thought that was the most
But it also needed the other end of that to say, hey, the reason why we're having trouble with these children is we have a broken down school system. The reason why we have having trouble with these children is we have a broken down city government. We have a broken down this area, and we have to get to speaking about the root causes of these things. Otherwise, yes, it's exploitation, sir. Okay, but it's not your intention, right?
When we was watching his best of 2022, and it was that clip after he visited St. Louis when he said he's only doing this because it's shit way deeper than what people really know. So he's basically showing the world like these kids are not just doing this. It's their surroundings and what they're brought up on.
It's not always, and see what I want to be very clear. It's intention and impact are two different things.
Oh,
and so when you are saying, well, this is my intention, this is what I intend to do, that's all well and good. But if your impact is not the same, then we have to have a conversation, right? So what the black community, which is what the white community may not be sensitive to a white crackhead being shown, right, is in our community, right, in the black community here in Milwaukee, mainstream media is controlled by white people, right?
Yeah,
that's just it.
Sure.
So what they did was they took clips from your documentary and they spun it to whatever
they made me look bad too.
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. Yeah, but that's my point. Yeah. So that's my point.
They did.
When
I learned my lesson talking to mainstream media.
Yeah.
They don't like us,
right?
Because we're coming for their jobs. So you understand what I'm saying?
But if you don't weave those facts in, if you don't weave those root causes in, and I love it seems like as you moved along, you kind of got to.
It was a learning process.
The only mistake I feel like I made with the Kia Boy video was that I made a new rule that I'm not talking to minors anymore. Because they're too crazy, they're too reckless. So if you've seen my latest videos,
I think I saw that clip. I think it was like when you were in St. Louis and then you came and you said,
"I'm done."
Yeah, you.
So the other thing about the St. Louis video, because that was an insane video too. Those kids were so wild. I went up to Arkansas for another video to do Day in the Life of a Farmer. Instead of driving back to Milwaukee, I went back to St. Louis again just to interview that professional fighter at the end of that video to show another perspective. So we can talk about anything under the sun, but I really don't understand any of the.
From what I've seen, like I said, I was following you before the Kia shit. So from what I've seen, it's a learning process. I felt like your effort, like Mike is saying, your effort and your intentions were valid because I know what type of content you're doing. So what you're doing is dangerous shit, period. It doesn't have a color on it.
Yeah.
It could be a pack of ants that are dangerous. You're going to go film them motherfuckers because you're in the dangerous shit. Stealing somebody's car is dangerous as fuck. Getting in it, driving recklessly, take the racism away. Just that act alone. What if they were green? He would go film them. But you see what I'm saying? I don't think
Vaughn said one of the boys from his documentary is facing 22 years.
Yeah,
because of the documentary.
Yeah,
not true.
I mean, if he is true, but I'm saying at the same time, isn't that what? But I'm saying at the same time, isn't that the point of the documentary? I want Lil Dog off the street. I don't know about nobody else. I don't want him. If that's gonna get the cops' attention, summer and all this type of shit, he should go to jail.
This is another thing that I think is really missing from the conversation. Not once is there ever talking about accountability of the kids that are ruining people's lives.
No, absolutely.
Why is that not part of the conversation? Why is it big bad white guy with the camera? That's the part of it.
Okay, hold on, Mike.
Go ahead.
So if that's the conversation that needs to be had, what have you done based off of how your YouTube channel is blown up and however monetary gains you've made off of it? What have you done for the Kia boys to help them out?
Okay, so first of all, I'll list a few things that I've done, but it's not my responsibility to make sure that a Kia boy does not steal a car. It starts at home. We have to talk about that. Number two,
that's true.
Okay, I've been volunteering every Tuesday morning. I've been working with a group of 8th grade kids. They're going to be pitching for money for an entrepreneurship class that I'm running. I'm volunteering to do. I'm putting up some of my own money for these kids to win. I do trash pickups in Milwaukee. I'm actually scheduling another one coming up. I've done it silently for years. I saw that on
your page, and you posted it.
But the thing is, why am I daddy? Like, why am I supposed to fucking tell this kid that I've met for 2 hours, like shake my finger at him and
no, this
put him in the corner? Like, what do you want me to do?
No. Time out. And I even see this in the comments. Jasmine, I agree with you on everything that you're saying, but what we're not going to do is make Tommy responsible for systematic racism.
But he
did not create it. He ain't got shit to do with that. We're not about to put that one thing on this young man on this show today. We're not about to do that. That's not fair. That's not fair.
It exists, though. It exists, and we got to have the conversation. And while I understand, it's not just you, Tommy. These same people have the same conversations about people like Tyler Perry.
Yeah, fact.
You're not the only one.
Person, yeah. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But I'm saying about black exploitation.
You
get what I'm saying?
Okay.
We have these
content in media
about about media. So it's not about you being white. It's about how black people are presented, right? And when you say, well, it starts at home. Well, home is the community, and if the community has been neglected, as it has been for a number of years, right? From a number of different areas. And like I said, all roads lead back to NPS. These children are not properly schooled. These children don't have proper homes because we're not able to make sure they have proper homes. We're not able to actually crack down on landlords to say, hey, you need to make sure these people live in a nice home.
We
can't even do things
I feel like I'm
that.
getting put in a position where I have to be like the president and answer
No,
all
you
these
don't have to be the
complicated
president.
questions. And it's like,
No, it's not. It's not complicated.
The fact that you're doing something, it speaks a lot about you, right?
I feel like
no. So you're taking it personal. And I get it. And I get it because
in both of these situations, like the conversation before we start, oh man, it's so cool, blah, 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 blah. And the first fucking question is like, okay, what do you have to say about exploiting blacks? And it's like, really? That's a fucking ridiculous way to start something, I feel like of all the things we could have talked about. And the other thing is everyone cops out. Do any of you actually believe that? No. So then why the fuck is it part of the conversation?
Believe what?
Because it's not about what I believe.
Believe what?
And that's
you think I'm actively exploiting black folks? Is that's the brand?
I think that in the beginning you set out to make a video that was going to make you money. I think that as you did it, you learned. You learned and you grew.
Okay. I think we're all on YouTube.
I think we're all, but because
I'm on YouTube.
Exactly,
I got him on my show right now to make money.
That's why we're on the platform.
What the fuck are we talking about? That's just like people in the comments. Hold on. That's just like people in the comments getting mad about this, and we got black rappers that exploit our kids way worse than this dude is doing right now. Hold on. Yeah. And nobody drags them through the mud for the shit. We praise these niggas. They're goats in our community. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Keep the energy the same, fam. Yeah. You know, Scalez is fair. I'm not about blacks exploitation. I don't want black people or white people exploiting our people, but it happens constantly in media. Black trauma is the most profitable thing in media. Black men get killed on Instagram every day. Do we attack those people the way we coming after Tommy right now? No, I'm saying not everybody. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about I'm talking about the consensus. Everybody doesn't do that. That's not consensus through the thing. And what I'm saying is, if you're gonna be that way, keep the same energy. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Period. Yeah. Like if you're gonna be on that, you can't just pick him out because he did a documentary. First of all, the little boy said on the documentary, "Ain't nobody came to talk to us about shit."
Right.
Oh, I think that's the big thing right there, right?
I commend you for having the guts in the first place to do it.
Anybody that's what I'm saying. Has anybody went and talked to these people?
That's what I think. Honestly, the reason I think most of the people that are mad are because they didn't get to scoop themselves. That's what I really think it is.
I don't feel like that. I feel like it's this, and I think this is what's being missed. You have a responsibility when you have a platform. It doesn't matter whether you black, white, green, or blue.
Facts.
Okay.
That's
and
true.
when it comes to black people, we have a history of how media has portrayed us over time. Just period. Okay. And so when you look at the first movie ever that was created, you see what I'm saying? Birth of a Nation. That was a racist movie about black people. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
So the impact, it has nothing to do with your intention, right? You may have all the good intention in the world. No, that may not have been the reason you were there to exploit them. But what we're saying is, when you don't include what I'm saying, excuse me, I don't know what it is everybody else. I am saying is when you don't include the root cause. I don't need you to be the daddy, but I need you to say, well, this is the reason why these children have not been locked up. This is the reason why these are root causes of this situation. Because for the looks of it, we just got kids running the streets, and it looks as though, as Milwaukee people, we don't give a damn.
Vine and Jasmine, I've had y'all on my show about y'all lock-ins. Don, can you help me on this? Paraded y'all, celebrated y'all for stepping out with the youth and doing the same thing. He went and talked to the kids, and y'all talking to the kids too. He just took a different angle because he does a different type of entertainment than you do. He does shock videos. So a shock video is to go talk to a Kia boy. I'm a Vice television. Let me give people some history here. If you have cable TV or internet television or anything, go watch Vice channels. They've been doing this for years. I just showed Mike a couple of years ago where all this shit Young Thug is documented and going to jail for right now. Vice, Noisy did a documentary about this shit 8 years ago. I didn't show it to you at my house. Did I not show you that documentary? Yeah, where they went around with the Migos, Pee Wee Longway, Young Thug, went to their trap houses. They showed Scalez, dudes, guns, dope on Vice. Hold on. This is 10 years before Tommy, bro. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So this isn't new. It just happened in Milwaukee.
The other thing I want to add,
this ain't new. This isn't a new form of content or some shit that was just created by this dude right here.
Yeah,
like,
but
everywhere I've gone, I've been invited to.
Yeah,
people have hit me up to come and to video there. I think that's important.
But that's not.
You got to remember, we live in a nation that has not healed.
We have a lot. We're getting worse over time, dude. We have a lot of shit going on in this country.
I don't know if it's worse, but it's as bad. Go ahead.
I think we're also missing the big picture. Is he's not the first fucking person that had made a documentary about the Kia Boys. They exploit
themselves. The Kia Boys are on Insta. I learned about the Kia Boys from Instagram. Yeah, rubbing it in our face and shit.
But okay, so Vaughn and Jasmine said in the comments, they answered, they said something about this before you even said anything. They said that there's a difference between a white person coming in and exploiting our situation and us exploiting our situation because they've been doing this from the beginning.
So it's like Mike said, it comes from shit like Birth of a Nation, which was the first Hollywood blockbuster.
First Hollywood blockbuster movie was a black exploitation. So the outrage about it is because it happens over and over and over and over and over again, and there's no there's no showing of the root cause, and there's no solution.
I want everybody to understand that no one here on this platform ever said exploiting children or people period is cool.
Right?
Nobody said that. I never heard once Tommy say that was cool.
Right.
So let's be careful with that. What we're saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think that Tommy's off the hook for what he did, right? But I believe it was a learning experience. But I also feel like he got a lot of blowback from media, because he exposed something that they couldn't get on the ground level and expose themselves.
And it's not couldn't. Let's be clear.
Didn't care to. They didn't care to.
No intent to.
Not that they. And
which is why.
When I say couldn't, that mean you ain't plugged or you ain't tapped in. Tommy's tapped in enough to get on the ground level with a Kia Boy and get him on camera.
Yeah.
Every news journalist isn't tapped in enough to do that. Period. Yeah, they know they wouldn't let the news interview them.
Who would let Fox 6 interview them?
Exactly. You know what I mean? So
I hope you don't again.
Fuck Fox 6.
Even at the same time, with it being good or bad, we still need things to bring light to issues, right?
Would you guys have preferred that this documentary was never made?
No, that's not that's not.
What is the way forward? Because I still am not quite wrapped.
That was a valid question that you just asked.
But like, if you are going to, and this is what I'm saying, if you're going to show the symptom of the problem, then we got to show the real root problem and cause of why this is happening. So yes, you were able to show and give those children a voice, and that was dope. But on the other end of that, there are people that are failing those children.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Across the board.
And we have to make sure that we're also showing that. That's what I want you to add.
So it would have been all right if in that same interview, he would have interviewed teachers or the people, because you keep going
parents and saying this where people are saying, yeah, these are the people that are failing these children. These are people that are working with these children.
Do you know?
So what's interesting about the documentary is it was 30-year-old dudes on that 40-year-old dudes on that documentary co-signing what the kids that he was interviewing were doing. They were literally standing right next to him on camera, co-signing the shit. Adults of these neighborhoods.
But they're not a Von Mays, right? They're not a Jasmine Tyler.
But they're not those people that you're describing aren't on ground level with these. They're Jasmine and Von are doing what they're doing with the select kids that they can get to come where they're coming. But what I'm talking about, where Tommy was that day interviewing those Kia Boys, it was dudes my age, on camera, co-signing that shit.
But they're just as lost as the children that they're hanging with.
So that's what I'm saying. That's also a part of the community, Mike. Those dudes are a part of the community.
Yeah, but they ain't helping it.
They're still a part of the community, though. Community is community, whether or not it's good or bad. In a circle of shit, we were just talking community. That's so true. Those brothers are a part of the community too.
I understand that. But we also understand there's people that are making things happen. There are change makers. And then there's people that just hanging on the damn block.
It's the fact that dude is facing 22 years. I have the facts of black and white paperwork.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
and then also too, same thing. I'm also going to offer it. And that is a point. Now, you can't go to jail for something you could.
Right.
But in this case, is he really in jail for something that he wasn't doing? Let's just be real here.
Okay, so speaking as a man who used to steal cars as a kid, they don't have nothing else. Like, ain't no where'd you play basketball growing up?
Shit, everywhere.
Ain't no
Sherman Park.
Ain't no Sherman Park. Ain't no Clover. Ain't no Northcott. Ain't no skating rinks. Ain't no
So that's why I applaud what Vaughn and Jasmine are doing with the lock-ins, because I used to go to lock-ins when I was a kid at the YMCA. We'd be locked in overnight.
Yeah.
You play basketball, pool, video games. You know what I mean? It kept us off the streets and shit. So I applaud Vaughn and Jasmine with doing that with the kids right now. They come get one of their favorite rappers to come perform and all of that shit. So absolutely they're tapped in with the culture.
You know what I learned about in the Kid Boys documentary? A lot of them kids are the smart kids.
No, that
Mr. E-Break is smart as fuck.
I thought that was the dopest part. Everybody, when I posted and when I posted your clip, my fucking page went viral. But when I posted it, I said, "Oh hell no, the Kid Boys got a documentary on YouTube. Don't ask me why." Right? LOL. Then and right after that, I said, "But Mr. E-Break is a motherfucking genius." No laughing emoji, no LOL, nothing, exclamation point.
No, he's me. He's me at that age. He's literally me.
Dog said they shouldn't do that. That's against the law. Remember when you was like, you know what I mean? They should have insurance. Dude, what if people have insurance?
He was really funny.
He was like, if they ain't got insurance,
He
they
could be
should
a
have it.
stand-up.
That's against the law.
Against the law. But you still in the car. That was the fuck me up.
Man.
But that's against the law. It's against the law. You should have insurance. It's against the law. But no. But at the same time, I think, like I said, it's a learning experience for the community, and it's also a learning experience for you to have a chance to understand what we're looking for anybody, white, blue. I promise you, I don't care if you were black, I would have the same requirement. I really want you to understand.
I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't.
But ask these people. These people know me very well. I would have the same requirement for anybody that was. I have a problem with Tyler Perry for how he portrays gay people. I have a problem with people who are in the hip hop industry who spew poison out into the streets and kids kill each other as a result of it. I have a problem with none of those people, and I tell them to their face. It's the same people. The people you see in the comments. Me and Jasmine Tyler had an argument right on this platform.
I'm in Milwaukee every single day. When people see me in the grocery store, on the street, or wherever, it's been very, very positive.
Mm-hmm.
So people can be upset. That is okay. And I'm sure they have good reasons why they are, but I don't know how long we want to talk about a couple people that are upset.
But I don't think it's a couple.
No, I don't think it's a couple.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it.
No,
I don't think it's a couple.
It's a lot.
Tommy, the only reason I dived right into it to start the show, and while we're spending a few minutes on it, is because it's a community issue.
Yes,
it's just a few people.
I
speaking
want the
out.
best for Milwaukee. I'm actively investing my sweat and time and money into the city.
I honestly
people
believe you do.
With that, I can't boil the whole ocean, but I can boil my little pot. And I want. You're saying really nice things about some of the other people that are out there doing stuff. Great, fantastic. Let's keep it going. I don't understand why we can't work together.
But that's why I asked you the question, what are you doing? Because a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, see, Don wasn't aware of that.
They have no idea.
I was aware of what you were doing. Mike saw it earlier when you went to the 53206 program and you went to the community program that's helping brothers that get out of jail, get jobs and all that. And Mike saw that. And when he saw that earlier, he wasn't aware that you did that. So these two people on my platform are just learning this about you in the last 4 hours.
Yes.
But even without that, what you just said is, I don't understand why we can't work together. In me explaining to you, hey, this is what I think is missing. It was that y'all didn't work together. That's what I thought was missing. You see what I'm saying? And so if that's where you have issue, you say, hey, this is not on my end. It's not on my end that we're not working together. I would like to work with these people.
Of course.
Then that's it. Then we can make the show.
I had another guy that was getting upset in the comments a few weeks ago, and he's actually the guy that I'm organizing the trash cleanup with and working with the Hype House to do that. So I'm a guy that
about you know,
it gets a little the anger and
this is not on my end. It's not on my.
It just sucks feeling ambushed to like have this nice little welcome and then right off the bat like.
Whatever.
It's just
I definitely won the ambush.
I didn't want to ambush.
You don't want. I just want.
You guys talked.
I thought you were. I thought you knew. You knew that coming on this platform that there were going to be people who had questions. I have to ask those questions because I have to do my job.
Yeah.
Right. And so let's not pussyfoot around. Let's not pussyfoot around. Let's get right to it so we can move on.
Yeah. I wanted to get the elephant in the room out of the way. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That was it. It wasn't. I would never bring somebody on this platform to sabotage them. First of all. Second of all, I just wanted to get the elephant out the room because they were already, soon as your face popped up on my camera,
already in
the first 6 comments was like, is that the Kia Boy documentary guy? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I just wanted to get that.
What I feel
out the way.
fantastic about is I have so many people across America, even across the world, reaching out to me to come to their city,
Facts.
cover their story. And so I know my reputation is good. I know how I treat people. The other thing is everyone that I've done a video with wants me to come back, or I still am in touch with and I talk to. So I feel
Tommy, there are
real
people
good.
that sign up for Love and Hip Hop every year, every season, and they get beat up going from side to side. That's neither here nor there. My point to you is this: whether you go from this community or go to another community across America, you have a responsibility to show the full picture. That's my only message to you. And that's anybody with a platform, whether you're black, blue, green, orange, yellow, you have a responsibility to show the full picture.
Yeah. I guess what's stopping you from making your own videos and telling the story you want, the way you want it to be told?
It's nothing stopping me.
But so then do it your way.
Hold on, Tommy. Hold on. It's nothing stopping me from making it, but that's not my genre of work. It's yours.
Sure.
Right? And so if you're going to go into that genre of work, that's something that you're choosing to do, then you have to choose that responsibility that comes with it. Because there is a responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
Whether you're interviewing the Kia boys, whether you're interviewing boys that are in St. Louis, where you're interviewing people that are in Arizona and they're underground. I watched that one as well. I watched all of your stuff. It's not an attack on you. Like I said at the beginning of this, I would like this to be an educational experience for you. So that when you go into different areas that you're kind of, and as much as you appreciate it, as much as you could appreciate it and say,
Jasmine
these people,
said, no, Mike, yell at him like you was yelling at me.
I don't want to yell. I'm trying to be
right.
I don't want to yell.
So one of the people in the comments, Jasmine Tyler, was on here. She felt like she got ambushed
like you just felt.
She felt like she got ambushed too. But we
what
don't
did she
just
get ambushed for.
but just on her political stances and how she does her business.
Jasmine, keep making moves out.
I love you too, Jasmine.
It's not.
You know we love you.
We know you.
Jasmine, you know we love you.
But Jasmine was asked questions too.
She's one of my favorite people on earth
as well. But she felt the same way initially. But I really want you to understand this: we have a black audience, and while there may be only a couple of people that have come up to you, this is a trending topic when it comes to that Kia Boy documentary for us. So the reason that I'm speaking to it, the reason that we're speaking to it, is because it is important. And nobody's saying we don't want you to go into these neighborhoods, but you are a white man in America, and there's a history that comes along,
and there's a privilege that comes with it. And I think you're aware of it because you spoke to it. You spoke on your privilege before.
And we got to we have to be real about how the impact of things. Tommy, it's not about your intention; it's about the impact.
So my thing is, what I don't want to happen here, right, is you won off of it, Tommy. You were successful. I don't want you playing the victim in this situation. Okay, because
I don't advocate for anyone to play the victim because that's the wrong way to look at life.
Okay, I just want, like Mike keeps saying, and even myself, because after the show, I believe we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be cool after. You know what I mean? Like I plan on doing more business and continuing, talking to you and trying to do content with you. So from this point on, as your friend, I want you to learn from this situation. You know what I mean? I want the next documentary that you do that this fucking explosive, that you cover all the bases on it, bro. You don't miss nothing. So then we don't have these kind of conversations.
So then people can't.
Thank you for the consulting class, but
what I'm saying is I think your content is fire. And I think what you're doing is on point, but it also, like Mike is saying, and like people are saying in the comments, there's a responsibility that comes with that shit, bro. And I've watched you in other spaces be more careful than you were with the Kia Boy shit.
Every single video I do, I look at and say, what can we have done
like when
better?
You went to O Block that day, I watched you.
But
like the way you moved on O Block was different than how you moved on the Kia Boy documentary. And I think that's because you learned your lesson.
That was like one of my first ever documentaries.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Of course it's going to be amateur
and a learning experience.
That's not what you said. What you said was, well, I don't see what the problem is.
I don't see what the problem
is. People have an issue. Instead of just saying it coming, because really it's dismissive.
I still don't know.
But give me a second.
Yeah, that's how it comes off.
Really, give me a second. Give me a second. It's really dismissive when a person's coming to you because we're being genuine and really trying to hold on. We're being genuine and trying to come to you and say, hey, this is what we think you could have done better. Did you say, what do you think I could have done? I said, I think you could have included this. You said, well, I think we didn't work together. Okay, well, great. I think you all should work together in the future. And if we don't have people that are willing to do that with you, then we have conversations to have outside of this, right? Now, past that, when you have people that are coming to you and saying, hey, you could do this better, and you already know, hey, that was my first one. I've done better since then. That was my first documentary. You could have started with that. The whole point of us getting to this point was, hey, we just want you to see that there were opportunities to do better in certain areas. We're not giving you a consulting class. You've been on YouTube.
Absolutely. You know what you're doing more than we do.
Doing on YouTube. We're just saying you haven't been black before. So we want to help you understand what that's like. That's all we're putting out to you. And we have a full spectrum of how things happen in this community. And yes, those kids are stealing kids and they're getting away
just
with
as
it.
much as we applaud you for doing the documentary, at the same time, we got to hold you culpable for the things that were missed on the documentary. That's it. Not saying you're responsible for it. You're the person that brought something to the world's attention, right? But it was done in a point where you didn't even realize what you were dipping into. Then once it got out there, a lot of people think you coming off as, however you coming off, but I feel that you learned your lesson because I watched the rest of your content and you're very careful when you go to Murder Creek, Texas. When you go to these other places, you're not as loose and reckless as you were. Even when you were on the east side with Certified Trapper, I heard you say to him on there, the last documentary, you know what I mean? When I was with the Kia boys, I ain't gonna be that reckless as I am over here with y'all. And you kept your head on the swivel when you was on the east side in the alley with them. So I know that you're learning your lesson. You understand what I'm saying? But it has to come across to the people like that too. Also, you know what I mean? I know you don't really give a fuck because it doesn't really affect you.
It's not that I don't give a fuck. It just, I guess, the way this has been delivered, it's like, thanks for inviting me onto something and then fucking critiquing all of it. It's like, it is what it is.
But what has our critique been?
We liked it.
No. Give me a second. What has our critique been?
I'm not. Really
what is our critique been? No. What is our critique of your channel and what you do been? What has it been?
You didn't like that I didn't talk to more people. Let me say that I didn't cover more of the root issues of why there are Kia boys. As if at 2 hours makes me an expert on it. No. Give me a second. So prior to me saying that, I said I watched the channel. I said you go all over. I mentioned outside of the Kia boys. I mentioned I saw you in St. Louis. I mentioned we saw you in Arizona. Not really interesting.
I mentioned it's interesting to me.
It's interesting. My audience, we hold numbers. Trust me. It's interesting.
So for me, it's not the point of someone ambushing you. It was an opportunity for you to sit in front of a community that you make money off of, right? Because what you said was, after the Kia boys, I started getting opportunities everywhere. That's what you said.
People started DMing me.
Yeah, from everywhere. Okay, so they helped you get your start. The people 100%. People that are in this community, they have to live with them. They have to get their car stolen from them, buy them. Excuse me. They have opinions and they have things that they want to speak to, and they say, "Hey, we have things going on that contribute to the Kia boys, and we would like if you showed that too." That's a valid point. That's not saying you're not good at what you do.
I watched you interview a homeless guy in a tunnel. And I thought that was one of the best the guy with the eye shot out or whatever. I thought that was some of the best fucking interviewing I ever seen, bro. You didn't go to, you're not a journalist for real or none of that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm learning on the fly.
You're learning on the fly.
I apologize if certain things aren't received well. So all I can do is the best I can do.
Let me get a hand clap for that right there. See, that's what we do on these podcasts. I don't want you to feel that way because Jasmine Tyler went through the same shit that you just went through live on air.
To be perfect off the bat.
This is what we do on my platform. I created this for people to have uncomfortable conversations, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all. It's not attack on you, Tommy. We didn't bring you here to drag you through the mud. What you just said is all we were trying to get through this whole time. That's it. What you just said, that's it. That's all Mike was trying to get to. That's it. We think what you're doing is amazing. That's why you here. If I thought you were a piece of shit, you wouldn't be here, bro.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't play them kind of games. I think what you're doing is amazing. It's a certain level of responsibility to it, which I believe you're learning because, like we said, we watched 14 videos after the Kia boys, and it looks like, he got it. He's getting it. You see what I'm saying? So
as it goes, but we still, and that's it. It's not an attack. It's not an attack, and I really, really want you to understand. It's definitely not an attack.
Okay.
No.
I wanted you to have an opportunity to paint yourself in a better light than what a lot of these comments and the people in our comments see you as.
Facts.
Right. So I'm not pussyfooting around. I'm getting to it. Because it ain't no reason. It ain't no reason to sit around and shove sunshine up your ass. Motherfuckers want to know, so we got to talk about it.
Do you think when I go to the Jewish communities they complain about exploitation? Do you think when I go to the Muslim communities?
No, so let me
So,
explain.
like,
let me explain. Hold on, no,
Tommy.
hold on, Don. There's nothing wrong. See, this is what I'm saying about people, bro.
But like, I feel like this is what my brand is.
Fuck that alcohol. This don't have nothing to do with this. I told Scalez earlier today. This is what it's
okay,
gonna
but
be.
yelling and not listening is not. That's not a good interview. Time out. So what I'm saying is, Tommy,
my brand is I go anywhere to anybody at any time. That's what I do.
That's a valid question for somebody who doesn't know. You can't expect people to understand our plight that don't come from our plight, bro. So what you're saying is black people, going back to the Birth of the Nation movie that was made during the Roaring 20s, that's why we have such a chip on our shoulder about exploitation, bro. Like he explained to you, we don't like Tyler Perry's exploitation and he's black. So you imagine how we feel about a white person that we think is exploiting something of our culture. So that's why you're getting this blowback from black people. You might not get it from Muslims or Jews or Germans or aliens even, because they never experienced the type of exploitation that black people have experienced in America. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel like what I do is help people tell their story, and I don't see...
Absolutely, I think you do, but there's still a level of exploitation of that.
And that's really
but
what
you're
I'm
still
trying to
focusing on your intention.
It's still
you're focusing on your intention.
And
my intent is not to be exploited. My intention is not to do. That's what I'm trying to break down to you. Your intention doesn't dictate your impact. You feel what I'm saying?
What do you think the impact of the Kia Boy video was?
I think.
Well, first of all, it birthed Kia Boys around the country.
Or did they already exist? And they just wanted it gave them freedom to get on camera. They existed already.
Were they Kia Boys before the Kia Boy phrase was coined?
I mean, they gave them a name.
Yeah,
there were gangs.
Was it as highly fucking celebrated to be a Kia Boy?
Doing it.
That's what they
claim. Yeah,
that's what they claim. That's what they claim.
Okay,
Tommy's absolutely right. That's what they claim.
It's Vice Lords in Milwaukee and Vice Lords in Chicago, right? Yeah. Okay. So what's the point here?
Did the Vice Lords in Milwaukee come before the Vice Lords in Chicago?
It doesn't matter what the chicken beget the egg. It doesn't matter. The shit is the same shit. Like
Fox 6 was able to take your documentary, right, and splice it up and turn it into whatever they want to. But when you're careful about how you do it, then it would have been very hard for them. I'm not saying they probably couldn't.
They still have found a way.
You know what I'm saying?
It would have been bastards.
Yeah. I'm not saying they couldn't have still done it, but it would have been harder for them to do it. Is my point.
Facts. It created a rivalry between Milwaukee and St. Louis, but
we have motherfucking Kia Boys in North Dakota talking about they started the shit. Yeah. Like in North Dakota, nigga. I'm like
they might have kids in North Dakota. Man.
So this is such a
we don't know what goes on.
This is such a crazy thing because it's like Tommy is saying, like Mike is saying, like everybody is saying, it's bigger than the documentary. You see what I'm saying? It's such a culpable thing because it's in these debates, it almost feels like the cops are let off the hook. You understand what I'm saying? It's like we're mad at Tommy, we're mad at the kids, we're mad at the parents. What about the people who put the laws in place?
That's who I'm mad at.
They get off the hook with this situation. What I'm saying is he doesn't get to create this documentary if the cops don't say, hey, we don't give a fuck about your cars being stolen. We had a Kia stolen from us before. Me and her did. Absolutely. And the cops or the insurance company did not give a flying fuck, Don, because it happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Someone that was very close to me had that.
That's very true.
It was
I think they had got to a point where they stopped giving insurance for kids.
Yeah.
Right? I think
we're filing a class action lawsuit. There's people that are working on that.
Like it's just, so that's what I'm saying. That shit starts at the, and like Mike said, that's who he wants to hold responsible are the community leaders and people in power and the people who can control laws and do all this shit.
No, they was like, oh, okay, called the insurance company. Oh yeah, we know about that in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
Vaughn said he was a part of the people giving smoke to the manufacturers out the gate. And he said, now they finally suing their asses. Yeah, you remember we interviewed Vaughn 2 years ago. He was like, they need the whole Kia and them responsibility.
It would make no sense for them not to be responsible. Why the city attorney didn't start
apparently
it's
as easy as $100 fix that they are just deciding not to do because it's going to be So they're just taking the cheap and easy way out, and they're going to pay for it in the long run.
Facts.
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Definitely.
Vaughn, you gotta relax, bro. You gotta relax.
You can't tell that man he gotta relax.
No, because it's everybody hanging on
He
words.
might not be.
Yeah, they're hanging on words.
They're hanging on words. So, Tommy, where are you from originally?
Illinois.
Illinois. So, what part of Illinois are you from?
Northwest suburbs, right? Like an hour from Chicago.
Okay. So, how long have you been living in Milwaukee?
8 years.
8 years. Okay.
What's the difference that you see in Milwaukee outside of the Kia Boys and the rest of the other stuff? Culturally,
getting parking tickets for fucking everything. That's a difference. Potholes. That's a difference.
They don't have potholes
Not like this. They don't.
Probably not the party in.
Well,
definitely not.
This is Scott Walker's Wisconsin. We'll come up out of it soon.
How did you get into this line of work?
In the documentary filmmaking period.
Yeah.
Well, I think the story starts a little farther back, where my first job in Milwaukee, I was selling payroll in the craziest zip codes in Milwaukee. So I was working with daycares, home health cares, restaurants, cafes. So 53206, 212, 218, Summer Brown Deer. And that's how I got to know Milwaukee. So I know the north side of Milwaukee better than I know any part of Milwaukee. Okay. I spent 5 years on the pavement, working with small businesses. Okay. And then I was doing prank videos while employed by a corporate company, which I'm surprised I didn't get fired earlier. But so I was working during the day with a suit and tie. And then by night I was shooting prank videos and editing on the weekends and launching that. And then I had a list of ideas that I was working on I was jumping out of a plane while eating the world's spiciest chip. I wanted to do the Kia Boys. I wanted to cover. So there's all these ideas that I was working on. Yeah. And I had the right people reach out, and we got things lined up, and it just so happened to take off. And once it did, when there's not a lot of time in life that momentum comes about.
Facts.
So when it comes, you have to chase it, and you have to really hustle after that. So ever since that moment, it was like, okay, like it was blowing my mind, because I was so close to quitting YouTube because I was doing dog shit on YouTube. I was doing not good. And then when I saw the documentaries, people really want to see it. And it just, for whatever reason, the gifts that I have work in that direction after years of having an okay success on pranks, but I never really broke through. So then I just started hitting the road. Traveling. I've been to a lot of places in the last 10 months. The hoarder house of the $100 million.
Oh yeah, no, never. As you walked in, I said, yeah, that would never be me.
So I think that's another piece of it too. Is I have a high tolerance for risk, and I'm a workhorse. And when you combine those two in this field, it usually do pretty well.
So this is what I love about my platform, Tommy. Right? That's why I don't want you to feel uncomfortable about being here or how the show started. Now look at what just happened in my comment section. Jasmine and Vaughn started off the show in my comment section yelling at me, cussing me out, cussing you out. I wasn't even reading you half the shit that they were reading. Now they said your next documentary should be on the school to prison pipeline system, right?
And if someone can get me into a prison, I would love to.
That's what they're offering. They're offering
to get you in.
This is where I'm bridging the gap here. Vaughn also said, I want you to interview elected officials and ask them the tough questions. Because guess what, Tommy? I'm gonna tell you something about yourself, brother. You got the complexion for the connection, boss. Right. That's another for real. That's another reason why you can walk in places and disarm people.
Oh, I need a drink.
Believe it or not,
pass me a red cup.
Believe it or not, me going on O Block will alarm them.
Yeah.
Because I look like Vaughn or Dirk. You going on O Block, if they can clear that you're not a cop or a fed or something, you're in the clear, bro.
Yeah.
You understand? A white man in the black community is very disarming in today's age. You know what I mean? So
the what?
Tommy, can you
the what?
McCartier?
No, he can't have any of that. That's mine, please.
Give me that.
Thank you. Keep going.
Give me that McCartier.
So speaking of asking people tough questions like elected officials, I'm working on a story where I go to Washington, D.C. and I'm trying to get access there. But the thing is, getting access to like the buttoned up corporate communities are very hard because they have a lot of gatekeepers. They have a lot of HR handbooks. Right. So exposing those types of stories are a lot more difficult. My niche right now is a lot more of the underworld, the pimps, the punk rock fight clubs, the homeless guys. Like that's where I can get in. It's really hard. I was going to do a documentary with a doctor about ketamine therapy. He said, sure. He saw my channel. Hey, upon further review, this is too much for me. I can't do it. Wow. So I've had doors closed because I cover stuff that's a little too crazy for some people.
Yeah.
Facts. Makes sense.
Facts. How do you? So you purely finance this lifestyle off of YouTube money, or
I do a few different things.
Do a few different
so
things.
I saved.
Mind your business. She's like, oh, so you just like you
no,
watching
because
my pockets.
it's not. I'm not trying to.
Tommy's pockets.
I'm not trying to count your pockets, but it's if somebody is watching you and they want to get into this and they like, damn, how the fuck is he financing, doing and flying and going all of these places? If they need to know, like, yeah, I'm scraping up money or I'm selling bacon cookies or. Unless it's something illegal, go ahead. You know
so the first 5.5 years where I had a corporate job, I lived like a monk. I don't go out and drink. I don't party. I don't go to restaurants. I cook all my own food. So I saved a lot of money. And so there's different things I invest into. I'm into real estate, but then YouTube also can pay the bills as well.
Right.
And so there's a lot of different. There's sponsorship money. There's ad revenue. There's merch. There's Patreon. There's some people, there's OnlyFans. I'm not on there right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but there's a lot of streams, and some people make their money really different. Like I know people that make almost $1 million a month off of T-shirts.
Yeah, I know you was the one dude,
Shout out
the
to
one
my boy, Sean
YouTuber. What's his last name?
Balin Levine.
Balin Levine. That you want to
interview. He's an
animal.
So there's a lot of different ways to try and make it in this platform.
Okay. So that goes to my next question. What advice would you give to somebody like some of these kids that I'm sure that you meet in the street or you talk to this generation? What you're doing is an actual real career.
Yeah.
So like when you meet them, what's some advice that you give some of these kids?
First of all, is you have to do content that you love doing, because if you just do what you think is trending, you're going to give up and you're not. It takes a long time to build up a platform.
Yeah.
So I did this for like 4.5 years before I made any money on YouTube. So I did it for the love. Money is not even a motivator for YouTube. It's what is this idea? Can I make somebody laugh? Can I check out this new story? But you have to be persistent and you have to own the craft. At first I didn't know how to edit. When COVID hit, I ordered a Mac and I learned how to edit because so now I have no limits to where my content goes. At this point, I've got video guys and editors, a fantastic team behind me.
You got a staff.
But the thing is being persistent. Literally anyone can make it in this game. I think anyone can make it in life, period, with the right skill set and the right amount of persistence. I know former bank robbers that are millionaires. I know former drug dealers that are millionaires. I know in all these different categories of people. I know former murderers that are that are serial entrepreneurs right now. Like, why? Because what are their actions right now? It's hard work. They're building their skill set. They're networking. Networking is also a big thing. I mean, when you can bounce off each other's platform, and it only gets magnified over time. It's the snowball effect. Like 2 years ago, I couldn't have done a video with Baby Tron.
Right.
I just now we get to. I'm gonna grow his audience. He's gonna grow mine, and it's a mutually beneficial thing.
Right.
And so it's also like, what can you give to people? I think one thing that was really interesting about studying the Jewish and Muslim cultures is they're very big on generosity, and they're also some of the most wealthy people. They're outperforming the average Jewish family and Muslim family is outperforming white people, outperforming Mexicans, outperforming black people. They're at the top of the food chain. Why? Because they stick together. They're very educational focused. They're very hardworking, and they're very entrepreneurial. And that is something that transcends. I don't care who you are. If you adopt those habits, you're probably going to be in a good position.
They also got a lot of bonuses coming in the gate too, though.
And they also got reparations.
Right. They also got reparations.
Jewish people got reparations.
Jewish people got reparations.
How much did they get?
I don't know the money, but I know that our president campaigned for them to get reparations, and also not just from
Biden did.
No, not Biden. I'm talking about after the Holocaust.
Yeah.
After the Holocaust.
Okay.
So there's a
so
reason.
Like 30s, 40s.
Yeah, their community was.
They have generational wealth.
The Muslims have been. That's probably one of the higher discriminated groups in the country.
Facts.
Yeah.
Especially after 9/11. Could you imagine being a Muslim in America after 9/11? Even though you didn't do shit, but people look at you and you have the turban or you have the hijab. And
trust me, we can relate. But see, that's what I like about him being here. You understand what I'm saying? The genuineness. That's how I know the documentary wasn't done in a negative light.
And I knew it wasn't either. I knew it wasn't either.
But genuineness.
Do you think I would still be alive in Milwaukee if I wasn't fucking genuine?
Right.
Really though?
Right.
Facts.
Right.
Understandable. Easy to pick out.
I was gonna ask you, do you have a staff team of people helping you? Because you're doing a lot right now, bro.
I do right now. It's grown to that point. So I have a main video guy, Miguel, who's fantastic. He's my main video guy and editor. I have my guy Keegan, who kind of wears a lot of hats, kind of a producer role, researcher. Kristen does all the thumbnails and merch designs, and then I got another guy, Jack, that does a lot of editing. So we're firing on all cylinders.
I will tell you this based upon what I'm reading in the comments. If you get with Jasmine Jasmine Tyler, I believe y'all can do amazing things.
Me too.
Yeah,
I would want nothing more than Milwaukee to go up.
She said, come to Death Row.
Where is that? I'm not going there.
Come to Death Row. She'll get you together. She'll get you together.
What's Death Row?
It's a record label. Yeah, it's a record label. It's all
like a Snoop.
It's all the
joke. Yeah, you remember when he was at the Source Awards? Suge Knight said, "Come if you don't want." Never mind.
Yeah. Suge Knight's gonna throw me off a hotel window or something. But
never mind. It's too bad.
So Jasmine said you work at the school you're working at is Greater Holy.
Someone's done their research over here.
She said she coming to see you, bro.
She coming to see you.
Yeah, she coming to see you because she said y'all got some work to do for real. Like no exaggeration.
Yeah.
She's serious, and I know her. Her and Vaughn, they're very serious, and I believe marrying what you do with what they do is exactly what's needed.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's how we go
That's
up.
how we progress.
That's how we move forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boom.
I yell every week, whether it's alcohol or not. I yell every week. I don't give a fuck.
Look. Yeah.
What this microphone?
You know what? Tommy,
now
we're
it's
not
back at the
sitting you
table.
next
Like,
to Nam, okay? When you come back now, I promise we will not sit you next to Nam. We'll sit you next to me. I'm so sorry.
A couple more cups, and then I'll scoot over. But
Oh my God. We are not sitting you next to Nam. Just yelling. Yeah, he's slapping the table.
That's what I do. I slap the table.
Just my Lord.
What's the most dangerous place that you filmed?
St. Louis was up there because those kids were not careful with their guns. Like I had to remind them not to point it at my camera guy. I was with the Mexican crew in Phoenix, and they were fucking flashing us too. And
they were cartel, right?
No, these guys weren't cartel.
Oh, they weren't cartel.
They weren't cartel, but that would be terrible. The most dangerous video I've done, I got raided by Mexican police. So I
saw that.
That was so fucking scary.
Yeah.
So I'm interviewing this guy named Hostage, who's been deported from America twice. He's done a lot of shit. He stabbed people in prison, but he's now just trying to run his own tattoo shop and be an entrepreneur in his 40s. Okay. So I just wanted to hear his story.
Now that he got arthritis, he wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're interviewing him in this house. We're in a kind of poor side of the village, and
he said, now that he got arthritis.
yeah. Three Mexican police with masks, rifles, coming and el piso la verga means get your fucking ass on the ground. And we had to, and I wondered if it was a joke. I wondered if they were cartel. I didn't know if they're good police, bad police. I was so fucking scared. And like, you have these moments you picture like what a badass you're gonna be if something like that happens. I was such a pussy, dude. I was just like, I was just like, I was so powerless. There was nothing I was gonna do. Like, there was no Superman coming out of, to do anything.
Right.
And luckily, like I speak some Spanish. I kind of told them what I was there for. And after they took one of the guys upstairs and punched him a couple of times and searched the house and realized we weren't selling drugs, I think they thought I was like some sort of like I was smuggling or something like that. But that was fucking terrifying.
So they ended up clearing y'all names and letting y'all go.
They took pictures of our ID. They deleted camera footage.
Wow.
Of course.
Dude, but luckily we had the next door neighbor security cameras to prove that it happened. And we had the neighbors were gathering, and one of the guys got a Snapchat video of what happened. And we were able to save one of the clips where we were on the ground and you see their boots and their
Sean.
But
Sean,
so like when you
Sean Page, I need you to relax.
Don. So when you go through customs, like when you got your cameras and all that shit, do they be treating you weird?
Dude, they try and make up bullshit taxes.
I figured that.
There's a camera tax, and it's like, what?
Of course.
Like, I don't know if the police there just don't make enough money or they just like being dirty.
The government is just that corrupt in those
dirty.
places. Yes, it's
well, maybe no, they can't just. Maybe they had a root cause. Maybe I'm doing the same thing. Maybe they had a root cause. We got to figure out the root cause of the dirty police.
Money.
It's money.
The root cause is money.
It's that their countries are technically poor. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So
I'm just gonna say that the Mexican police are a whole nother level of like you can disappear out there.
Yeah. You don't want to go to jail in Mexico.
I don't want to go to jail. Period. I am not interested in the slammer at all.
Yes, you might want to go to jail in Canada.
No.
Jasmine said, I swear this show reminds me of being at my grandmother's house. Like we all arguing and somebody gonna get cussed out, then we gonna drink and laugh about it. I love y'all.
It's a good room.
He said SMH, not a motherfucker named Hostage, right? That's the same thing I thought about when he said his name. Like, okay,
it's probably risky business meeting with a guy like that.
It's a great name.
Hostage. You used to wrestle?
We're gonna that's coming up too. I was getting to that. Like I said, You got me because I'm from the 90s, bro. I'm from Milwaukee's 90s.
You got some of that old soul.
Yeah, I used to ride the city bus to Northridge. Me and my man Dooch, pen in our pocket, piece of paper, see how many numbers we can get in our guest suits. You know what I'm saying, Dooch? You know what I mean? Dooch know what I'm talking about. So when I seen your documentary about Northridge,
Dooch over there like, nah.
And it's abandoned the way it is, that fucked me up. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
for me, I'm like, keep plugged.
That really fucked me up. So give us the story behind you going into abandoned ass Northridge and discovering ghosts and all types of shit that you discovered while you was in there.
Yeah, I think one of my primary drivers is exploration and adventure. Like I just want to see what I want when I die. And oh man, I want to have a lot of experiences, a lot of stories. I want to have met a lot of people, and just I believe everyone in this world is someone that can teach you something.
Right.
And so what I learned from Northridge is, one, it's crazy to see like I never shopped there. I wasn't old enough to shop there, but to see it go from a booming place where there's tons of jobs there and people getting the jeans and whatever they bought there, to just seeing it abandoned to shit. It was wild, but also like I loved it felt so cool to just be in there and exploring.
Was it
like
nostalgic?
you hear a noise. Yeah, it made me feel like when I was in high school and I used to sneak out and like light bottle rockets and shit, or do little. It wasn't that crazy.
But see, what I'm saying is why I know you're learning on the job is because even on that documentary, you was like, it's crazy what Amazon and things have done that we don't even have malls anymore. As you kicking glass and breaking shit, you know what I mean on there. But at the same time, you're like, that's crazy how the American economy has went to the point where we don't even have malls anymore. You know what I mean? Like this is the death of the mall.
Well, you can get online and get stuff.
Exactly.
Now, right. So it's like, do I want to go to the mall? Same as do we want to travel to the grocery store?
I don't know, but malls still be packed, fam.
Some. But it is
Southridge still be packed.
Southridge is getting ready to close. So.
Yeah, Southridge is about to close. That's the next one on the list.
Really?
It's gone.
Yeah.
The
last time I was at Southridge, it was packed.
Yeah.
Huh?
Brookfield and Mayfair. Yeah. Communities that
we just went to Southridge.
Yeah, I know, but it's on the radar to be closed next. That's the next one that's supposed to be shut down.
So we were talking at the beginning of this about what I could do for the community or this and that. If I was mayor, one of the things I would look into is, so we got a $500 million.
You actually asked everybody this on your show, actually.
What would you do if you're mayor?
Yeah.
I want to hear people's perspective.
I told you we watched. You know, like we watched all of it.
We had a $500 million investment for a fucking trolley that no one uses.
Exactly.
Yeah. When we see all the abandoned bullshit that we have in this city, all the potholes, I would, could I say if I ran for mayor, what I would do, and you guys tell me if you would vote for my platform or not? Okay. Low hanging fruit here. Legalize weed, run that tax money through, throw it through a bunch of contractors that are going to rebuild dilapidated houses in Milwaukee.
State. Talk your shit. I mean, it's a farmer state.
Okay. I would invest more into school lunches because I want kids to have good, nutritious meals, not just fucking like prison bullshit on a plate.
Because isn't it prison bullshit on a plate?
I
walked into a school, I said I would never eat this.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Transportation, because I think that's a big issue where a lot of kids with single parents, single moms, that they're at work and they need, if they want to go to football, transportation is a big thing. So like having a fleet of vans for schools, I think would be really big. And then this is where my position probably, I don't know if it gets unpopular or not. I would recruit like an elite level task force, held to a very high standard, but the baddest motherfuckers that are doing the most terrorizing. Sorry, but if you're raping someone, robbing someone, or murdering someone, these guys are going to get you. Petty crime, I don't give a shit about. I'm not worried about someone smoking weed, but it needs to be safe. If people are going to invest in Milwaukee,
it has to be
build up Milwaukee, you have to feel comfortable raising a family in Milwaukee.
That's right.
And if you're on fucking 11th and Atkinson, how comfortable are you to invest? Oh, I just saved up 50 grand for a down payment for a house. Are you going to move there or not? And so you have to make it safe for families. And so that would be my platform. What do you guys think?
I like everything except for the elite task force.
Vaughn said you can't do that as mayor, LOL.
But he gave a dream list.
He gave a dream list.
I don't think I can
hating on my boy, Vaughn.
I don't think I can legalize weed either. I think it has to be a statewide thing.
But yeah, but your intentions are valid. Yeah, I fuck with that. Everything, like Don said, I fuck with everything except for the henchmen, because I don't think we can legally have a task force.
So I'm a comic book kid.
Vigilantes out here.
I'm a comic book kid. So you know, when you create a task force like that, you just create harder villains. Like that's how it works. So you can't.
I'm just nervous about police.
Batman created the Joker.
Like
held to an
just what we-
extremely high standard.
Yeah,
if you
but when you
fuck
see,
up,
like,
if
the
you take
Scorpion
bribes, if
unit
you
in-
beat
in
people, you're
Memphis,
out.
And you see the Scorpion unit in Memphis,
Or
you
the
see-
Red Dogs in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Right.
it gets
Too
real.
much power gets out of control.
Yeah,
it
you
gets
just
real.
go create
Okay, so what's the solution to make
you just go
Milwaukee
create a
safer?
elite
Yeah, we
We
got
have to have
HIDA.
what you're saying makes perfect sense.
High
So we
intensity
need-
drug task force units. That's what HIDA
I
is.
think
HIDA,
we need.
yeah.
I think we need
Every
to really
drug
invest in our community,
investigation
which I
in
think
the
is the
state of
point you're
Wisconsin
making,
has HIDA on it.
ultimately.
HIDA exists in every state, but Milwaukee has a HIDA division.
I missed one big thing on my list.
Yeah.
Use that if that we have a pot of $500 million. Use it to recruit really good manufacturing jobs that are high paying wages.
Absolutely.
Back to the north side where because it's abandoned, dude. What the
Yeah.
fuck are all the factories doing? They went overseas.
Yeah.
So you have to bring that back so people have good jobs.
But we have to have councilmen who are business minded sitting on the city common council. And the reason that we've kind of not seen that, if we look at Century City or Central City, they were supposed to have a food processor come because the residents in the area were not informed and they didn't have a business minded person, I believe.
That's
that
because
we could-
politicians fucking like we need people that have actually had success in the real world to run for office. I don't get these
So
people. that,
Jasmine said we can't make Milwaukee safer because the feds got their neck on Wisconsin. This system is going to do what they want. They are about to do a sweep because they want the NBA All-Star game here.
and the Republican National Convention there because they were going to have the Democratic National Convention, and I feel like they start. It's just like when you have the Olympics somewhere, you crack down so that there's no homelessness here, there's no
Yeah.
crime here.
Yeah.
Like you just make a street of gold that only the cameras can stay on, and then
Yeah.
as soon as it leaves, everything goes to shit
Absolutely.
again. You know?
Absolutely. That's facts. No jumper.
Yeah.
I don't know. A couple comments ago, you were compared to Vlad and Adam 22. So I don't know what your
I don't think that's probably
relationship
a compliment.
Man,
I don't
yeah.
think it's a
is.
compliment.
I don't know so much Vlad as much Adam. We're still kind of on the fence with Adam, but Vlad is out the window. But
Adam,
you can
Adam
get
gets
that
to fuck porno bitches. So
yeah, you know, we're
cool with
walking in.
me.
But what's your relationship with Adam? Because I seen that you were at his crib, you worked out with him. Like,
I've only met him once, but he was very kind and welcoming to me.
Okay.
I mean, to me, a guy that at that level lets you come to his house, first time you ever meet him, I feel like that says like he trusted me.
facts.
And so I had a good time with him. I know that he's in a lot of public criticism. I don't know. I don't really try to ever get into drama. I'm never trying to talk shit about people, and whatever he's going through, I hope things go well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so did he give you any game while you were out there? Was he held kind of standoffish, or was he open with the information?
That was one of my favorite interviews I've ever gotten to do. Like I felt like his questions were just it flowed the entire time. I was wondering, like, because he does have a knack for hit piece style questions, and even some of the clips he put out from the interview, he made it look one way, and it was just like, okay, I guess he's doing it for business. Like I had a good time in person with him. I just have to know that when my content gets put out, the way it gets titled is gonna probably some of it's gonna be bullshit.
Everything is clickbait, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, everything that we use in this content game is some type of clickbait. You know what I mean? That was wild that he connected with Adam 22 though. So even in that, your relationship with Certified Trapper, because I see Certified was on No Jumper. You know what I mean? So what's your relationship with Certified? I actually watched a hilarious video on YouTube earlier where he was running from bees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Certified Trapper, man.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. Not even just musically wise. I think personality and the way
I've
he
never
thinks
met.
and
He's a
all that. He's one of my
character.
favorite people. Yeah,
he's a one of one character.
I only met him one time, but he's one of my favorite fucking people.
What I love about him is, well, one, he's an extremely hard worker. Like the volume of work that he puts out. And again, when I was talking about controlling the process, like I edit my own shit. He controls all of his own stuff.
Facts.
And you can't stop a guy like that does that. And I find him hilarious.
Me too.
And he's honest. Like when you ask him, hey, how many hoes you have certified? Sometimes I don't even have any hoes. It's like,
yeah.
Finally, like I'm too sick of like the gangster. I mean, I got 50 fucking bitches and I got 17 Ferraris. It's like, dude, like you don't have to, like, I don't care if you have 1 or 50, like just be real about it. You know?
For sure. Because you're supposed to be so real and you can't even be real about something that simple. Right. You see what I'm saying? The running from the bees on that roof was hilarious. Like to get you know what I mean? To get a guy that's walking around with a 50-round drum when you're interviewing him. To the next clip, he's running like a girl on the rooftop from a bees with the bee suit on.
That was
so
funny.
You're not gonna get sued because you got the entire bodysuit on and you're still running.
That beekeeper got really pissed. As soon as the beekeeper got stung because Certified that lost his composure. And he's like, he's out of here. I'm like, okay, I had to drop him off and go back to the bees.
They were saying because. Yeah, I don't like, but see, Vaughn, that's how they do that clickbait shit. Vaughn was saying another thing that he saw that he didn't like was that they was giving you credit for Certified blowing up. And
Certified Trapper is blowing up regardless of who he meets.
Facts.
There might be little people along the way that we give bumps to each other, but he helped me. Like I got 2 million views with Certified Trapper. He got 2 million views with me. Like,
absolutely,
it's a mutually beneficial thing. It's not a I won, he lost, vice versa. And
I never looked at it or even heard you say that you took responsibility for anything. Even when you interviewed him the first time when he pulled up on you, you knew who he was when you were out there with the contractor. You like, oh shit, you're the dude from my DM. Okay, I know who you are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
When you're a man on the mission, you're gonna succeed anyways, and that's Certified Trapper.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I appreciate you not trying to see. There's what I'm saying.
I didn't write any of his raps or make any of his beats. What the fuck can I say about that? You know.
What about the Pimps and Prostitute documentary in Chicago?
We have one that's in LA that's coming out in 2 weeks. So I'm one step away from being permanently banned on YouTube for life because my content is edgy. And once one of my strikes disappears, I'm gonna feel comfortable enough to upload another one where I hung, first I talked to pimps and prostitutes on the block, but then I hung $100 out the window and said, hey, I have a camera. You can wear a mask. We can blur your face, but we just want to ask you about your life. 10-minute conversation, $100. Are you interested? Probably walked up to drove past 9 or 10 women, and 2 of them agreed to do that. And that one's going to be crazy. That to me is such a sad world because I don't know. A lot of the pimps I've met are fucking pathetic people.
Facts.
And you're bossing up the chick. You're taking all her fucking money, and she's doing all of the risk, and you're you're not a boss. And so I think it reveals how important it is to have strong men. And when you have weak men, this is the thing. I don't know the pimp's background. Was he sexually abused as a child? Did he have a fucked up life? I'm sure he did. But he's got to, as a man, protect women. And that was something like one of the guys I talked to in LA was pissing me off because I don't take like men that are beating the fuck out of women and taking all their money. That's not something I'm not a fan of.
And that comes with that lifestyle.
It's very common. There's some pimps, like the guy in Chicago wasn't a real pimp. He was more of like a friend / bodyguard / business partner.
He was charging them for protection pretty much.
Which
technically is what a pimp is.
But when we hear from original players,
yeah, that's what it technically is.
They say that these are not real pimps.
Yeah, exactly.
So I read Iceberg Slim's book, one of the most famous pimps of all time, and the first fucking paragraph
based out of Milwaukee, actually. He became a pimp in Milwaukee. A woman in Milwaukee turned him into a pimp. But
first paragraph, he's like 3 years old and his mom's friend is molesting him.
Yeah.
And it's like one paragraph and well, no shit. Yeah. You can see this guy's trajectory.
Exactly.
But some of the things he did were unspeakable. Like, I'm like, holy fuck. Like,
that's dope that you read that book. I fuck with you for reading that because I read it too.
Of course you read it.
How did you? Of course you did. Back to the infamous documentary, real quick. How did you feel about your footage being used in the movie Tag?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't know about this.
Well, we're telling you.
Yeah, we're telling you.
Kia Boy documentary.
Yeah.
There's a Kia Boy movie that is on Tubi that they made based off your documentary, actually, that inspired it, and actually has clips
and it has clips of your documentary. It's from Detroit.
Okay.
It's called Tagged. It's on Tubi.
Yeah, we telling.
Free promotion, I guess. I don't know if what I did helps him tell a better story. I mean,
I thought he knew about it, so I had it on here as a question. As far
as Milwaukee solidarity, I'm upset.
Yeah.
No, it's really on the point of that. That's why I'm telling.
Yeah, now we have to defend you because you're one of ours. You know what I'm saying? Now we got beef.
It's not it.
My big thing is I think people should be original and make up their own work. But if they thought my stuff helped them tell the story, then so be it.
It set the whole basis for the movie. Yeah, the guy started using the little boys in the city who were stealing cars to transport his drugs. Get what I'm saying? So, and they were changing the license plates. It was kind of like New Jersey Drive. If you ever seen that movie.
I've heard that reference. I haven't seen
meets
it
the Kia Boys.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying? That's pretty much what Tag was, based out of Detroit. You know who Icewear Vezo is, the rapper?
Yes.
It's his movie. And he stars in it also.
I was just tapped in Flint a couple of weeks ago, and I was in Detroit as well. So a lot of these guys are popping up, but I don't know where I'm going with that. Let's.
No, you good. Somebody wanted me to ask you about your upbringing in Crystal Lake.
Yes,
Illinois.
Fantastic childhood. I had a childhood where, and I don't think a lot of kids are going to get this anymore, where it was run outside, like go catch snapping turtles, go build forts in the trees. When the bell rings, come home. And We weren't worried about fucking child molesters picking us up in a white van. We weren't worried about school shootings. It was an innocent childhood, but also I was pushed, like academically pushed. In sports, I was pushed. I started wrestling when I was 10, and that's been a grind since I started. And so I would say what my parents did really well was they didn't try and push me into any direction. My dad's, he played football, I'm going to play football. They were very encouraging about whatever I wanted to pursue, go for it. And so, and they gave me the freedom. I was entrepreneurial as a kid. I was knocking door to door, had lawn mowing customers. And so they let me really come in my own.
What do they think about what you're doing right now? My
pop passed away when I was a senior in high school.
Sorry to hear
that. And thank you. I would love to share a lot of this with him, man. I really would. And I think he would be, he worked in, he was a salesman for a company called IBM, selling computers. IBM. And I asked him, if you could go back, what would you have done differently? And he said, I would have started my own thing. So I think he would have been really pumped to see that. And then the wrestling journey, a little bit of the fighting journey. I think it would have been really nice to see that. But my mom, it scares her what I do, but she encourages me and she sees me fully alive. When I had my corporate jobs, I fucking was not alive.
You weren't happy.
I just knew that this wasn't for me. And I knew that there's gotta be something else to do. So while it does scare the shit out of her, and some of these stories I don't ever not tell her a detail. Like I got held at gunpoint by Mexican police, but I tell her,
we probably need to get from over here because it's getting and all of this stuff like that.
Yeah. There is a little bit of Russian roulette with some of these ideas. Like how many of them can you pull off before?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other thing is, like someone compared me to Adam 22. I think the reason one thing that makes me different is I never talk about beef with anybody.
No, you don't.
I don't stir that up because one, I don't want to be responsible the next day when I leave the city and I'm safe that someone goes down because of that. And two, but one thing I maybe should ask about is like, hey, who did you diss on Instagram last night before I show up? Because when people see, is this a video shoot or what? And then
exactly.
And now I'm caught in some bullshit that I wasn't even part of in the first place.
Facts.
What weight class did you wrestle at?
I finished college at 165.
I wrestled 160.
Hell yeah. Those are the middle weights are they're stacked. There's a lot of tough people.
Who's the greatest wrestler of all time?
I would say Cal Sanderson's up there. Dan Gable is up there.
He talking about
I talk about no offense, but I'm talking about real wrestlers.
Yeah. He talking about real wrestlers.
So give me.
So you don't think Kurt Angle? You don't think Kurt Angle's?
When I grew up, I hated that sport because to me that was always like
I'm saying in the
he was an Olympian. Yes. He won an Olympic medal with a broken neck.
Fucking neck. Yeah.
That is the level of animals that wrestlers are. That I think now that the UFC is big, I think people gave wrestlers their respect. Before, just like, just a bunch of sweaty dudes, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, don't fuck with this guy.
In high school, I used to be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with your ear, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the white boys' ears used to be fucked up in high school. Like, man,
cauliflower.
What the fuck is cauliflower ear from the wrestling and
That's
shit.
what kept me away from it. Vanity.
Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, right.
Nope. Not
interested. So television wrestlers then.
I never watched it.
You don't like it.
Oh, you never fucked with it.
You don't like it.
You like the purest form of the art.
Well, it pissed me off because I was out here doing real shit and people are watching all this fake shit.
Oh, okay.
You know
I get it.
Now I see it as entertainment. I get why people like it, but when I was a kid, it was something to like fight against.
You don't think Brock's the greatest wrestler?
He's a bad motherfucker too.
Yeah,
have you ever seen a picture of that guy in high school?
Yes.
I don't know if he was juicing from the time he was 12, but that dude is so yoked, it's ridiculous. He is a scary. I would not want to be locked in a cage with that guy.
I've been as close to him as I am to Michael J. Curtis and watched him run. And I was terrified.
He's an animal.
I was terrified.
They don't make him like Brock Lesnar too often.
Wow. So what about spitting suspect / homo bars on O Block?
The reason why I think that is so funny is
that's the most hilarious shit.
I also did here's a parallel I'm going to draw. There was another idea I did called flirting with construction workers.
I saw that. Yeah.
So to me, it's really funny to go to a super masculine macho space, act like I'm tough too at first, but then say the suspect shit and watch their reaction. And like it sometimes takes those guys like 5-6 seconds. Like, cause at first they're like, okay, this guy, and then you just see their face change and it's just so fucking funny.
The old black lady in the parking lot is you and her are the funniest. Y'all
in the old block video.
In the old block video, y'all interaction is fucking like that shit is priceless, bro.
Oh man. That was something that like when I was about to go to sleep, I'd think of a bar, write it down on my phone, go back to sleep. Like that would be something that just comes to me. And
so dude who you were doing it with, I've seen him do that before in other like hood ass places.
Brandon Buckingham.
Yeah, he looks like a nerd. When y'all linked, he wasn't like, oh, you stepping on my toes, bro. He was all the way with it. Like, no, come on, let's do it. No, for real?
No, because I brought him to Milwaukee.
Oh,
to do it
okay.
So he did that, and we did that in 53206.
Yeah.
First, we were at like some like stripper car wash thing going on.
Yeah,
shit, I want to go to it. Where is that?
Yeah, I remember when they
and
was
so
there.
and we had a lot of fun there, and I love that guy. I'm gonna be linking up with him when I go to DC to try and cover the White House and those fucking bastards of trading stocks and insider trading. We can get into that another time, but yeah.
So like, you know, O Block is tore down now. So I'm sure you were happy that you were able to get there and get you some footage before they shut it down. Was there somebody on the soil? So like when you go to these hoods,
Brandon had the connections there.
Oh, okay, Brandon had connections.
But for the most part, like Philadelphia.
Yeah, when you went to Philly.
Rican Bull is the guy that I checked in with. Cheddar Blanco in San Antonio. That's who got all those 3 connections in Mexico, San Antonio. So finding the right connections is everything in these videos.
So that's almost like what Jay Prince says. Checking in. Your hood passes pretty much.
I mean, you can't just show up to these
absolutely
with a camera and expect it to go well.
Yeah.
So like at the end of every video I have like, hey, I'm looking for, let's say, a neo-Nazi, a BBL doctor, and a Brazilian favela connection. And then I get emails and DMs, and that's how I start, putting where I'm gonna go next. And so meeting the right people is everything with what I do.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I already asked you the greatest wrestler question. I wanted to ask you this. Would you marry the person you lost your virginity to or stay on your last job for the rest of your life?
This is going to be my last job, so I'll do this.
You'll do this. What about you, Mike? Would you marry the person you lost your virginity to or stay on the first job that you have for the rest of your life?
Watch this.
It's awkward.
Watch this
for me.
Hey, Mike, I'll trade you.
You want to trade?
Yeah, because the person I lost my virginity to is a lesbian stud right now.
Oh, I'll take her.
Yeah, so I know your answer to the question already.
Yeah,
I guess
you can have my last job.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay,
we take the trade.
Yeah, it's a licensed security. It'd be good enough.
Call David Stern.
Is women talking about penis size body shaming?
Of course. I mean, it depends on how they're talking about it.
Yeah, if they're talking about it in a bad way.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
love it. Then no, it's cool. But if it's shrimp fried rice.
See that?
I mean, partly it's calling it is what it is, but the other side of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
he would spade is a spade.
How can that man do anything about it? He can't do anything about it. He was born that way.
Dick extension surgery.
He was born that way.
There's the dick extension surgery. There's height surgery.
Stop it.
There's dick extension surgery.
Yeah, guy just got height surgery the other day.
There's height
said he
surgery.
went from 5'5" to 6 feet. Now he get bitches.
There's
this African guy got height surgery.
There is dick extension service.
This would be my advice to the people: find someone that you love for more than just their fucking titty size or penis size. That's
right, Tommy.
That'll lead you the right way.
Let's go ahead. Let's go out with
Look,
that.
Jasmine said penis body shaming. I can't breathe. I'm sick of y'all. Von May said it damn sure is body shaming. He said or balding. Yep, Scales y'all on to something here. Yeah, Von, start a crusade for body shaming.
Or balding.
Body shaming against men. We're not standing for this shit.
He is done.
We don't though.
I told you in this post Me Too cancel culture era that we're in, we're being fair now. No more male misogynistic rules. What's good for the goose is good for the gander now. It's all fair.
And I approve this message.
My man.
I am just here.
Now we want to body shame y'all. Now it's y'all feelings is hurt. Fuck your feelings and the shrimp.
Body shame.
I have never. Never mind.
You never body shame, dude.
So listen. Your ass or your titties are not the equivalent of a man's dick. A man's dick is considered his manhood. That is how their identity is tied to. Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof.
Tommy,
that That's not the same.
I know they're making a disaster trip, right? I guess for the floods that happened in Mississippi recently or something.
Something happened in Mississippi.
Vaughn is going to work on relief with that, so I think he wants to talk to you about maybe you'd be interested in going to film some shit like that.
I'm happy to talk to him about anything if we can go in a positive direction.
Absolutely,
Absolutely
that's what he's
can.
on. That's what he's on. He because now that people I think are starting to understand really what your content is about, you would be excellent at covering shit like that, like a disaster that happened. Mississippi's the poorest state in the union. Right, so a disaster.
In the union,
it is.
In the union,
in the United States, it's the poorest state in the United States. So for them to have a natural disaster is almost like a third world country having a natural, you know what I mean, having a disaster. So you going to cover some shit like that and seeing the blowback and what happens after that, I think would be dope. So we'll talk about that after.
They're going to Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi.
Okay,
3 cities, 3 states.
Going back to the 90s. There's a Freaknik documentary coming out. Do you know what Freaknik is?
It almost sounds like something that I can't repeat. It sounded a little too close to something.
Nobody's mad at Hulu, right, Dooch? Hey, Dooch, they about to expose us, and I can't get mad at Hulu like people mad at this man for his documentary. Can I start a march against Hulu for exposing
what is this
me sowing my royal oats in the 90s?
So many people, mamas, is on that documentary.
Well, Freaknik started out
was old.
to give you the real history. Freaknik started out as a picnic.
Lord.
As a picnic for the black kids in Atlanta.
Some of y'all mamas was old.
That went to the AU. That went to the Atlanta
My mama
University.
had a friend that went to Freaknik. I remember who you are.
So Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, the kids who stayed and HBCUs in Atlanta though, that couldn't afford to go home for breaks. They stayed there and they had a picnic.
Oh, I'm
so
sure
it started exactly.
Man.
So over time, it grew into like a pure freak fest where people be like fucking on the highway. You know what I mean?
So like a college orgy.
Absolutely. But just
there were strippers.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly.
These were strippers. But they better do Girls Gone Wild too. If they don't do Girls Gone Wild,
it wasn't just strippers though. Those were regular
Girls Gone Wild.
Those were regular people. Those weren't all strippers, y'all.
Yeah,
like,
I'm marching.
The strippers were in the strip club getting their money. These girls were literally doing that shit for free. Strippers are mothers. Women who stripped in the 90s are your friends' mothers right now. Like,
now.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
You just said strippers though. Like that's what I'm saying.
I didn't say nothing about strippers. I said people mamas was out there showing their hairy assholes. Because they was hairy.
Yeah, I mean
they wasn't just showing assholes. They was getting bust down.
They was doing a lot. You know what I mean?
They was getting bust down.
I draw the line at hairy assholes. I apologize.
Tommy, I wanted to ask you something. I guess it's kind of serious. And it's something that plights America. Mass shootings.
Yeah.
What do you think about that shit, man?
I've heard that when we cover it in the news, that it's more likely to happen again sooner. And so that if we didn't talk about the name, the face of the shooter, and give them their 15 minutes, that it wouldn't happen as much.
Copycat killers, right? Like we had copycat Kia boys.
Yeah, because people that are in that position, they're so desperate, they're so down on life, they're so angry at the world. They're looking to go out in a way and at least be remembered. And if no one remembers them, or like you just what if we just edited a video of their most embarrassing moments and that's the only thing we show on the news, is like make fun of them a little bit? I don't think they would be doing it as much.
I get it, because you saying even in death they get their 15 seconds of fame
because they're like a legend. Even though it's in
that's why serial killers do what they do.
Yeah.
So. What do I think about it? I think it's really sad. I think it's really fucked up. Can you imagine what it has to take mentally for a person, a grown adult, to go into a room full of children? Like, fucking figure it out in some other way. Are you serious?
Facts.
That shit's ridiculous to me.
All right. So on something that I thought would make you happy, Michael, and I guess we could talk to you about this because you deal with monetization with YouTube and they're threatening to kick you off every day. Also, congratulations on your plaque.
Thank you.
That you got from YouTube for your views. And was that a view or subscriber?
100,000 subscribers.
Okay. Dope. Monique. Do you know the comedian Monique?
Yes. I'm picturing her in my head. Go ahead.
Okay.
Man.
The comedian Monique from the TV show The Parkers.
I don't watch enough TV, so that's where I'm missing.
The comedian Monique is suing CBS Paramount over royalties from the Parkers television show that she never received. Do you think that you'll ever be in that place with YouTube because they're getting on your damn nerves?
No, because my streams are clear. I'm independent.
Okay.
They get a percentage of the ad revenue. I get a percentage of the ad revenue. There's no bullshit contract that I didn't read over, my lawyer didn't look at, or some company trying to. If I do a Netflix deal or a Hulu deal one day, I mean, I'm gonna have to be very careful on who reads that contract. But it sounds like she's in the industry world,
and
that's where people. There's a lot of fuckery going
Facts.
on. I'm in the like you're talking about $1 billion companies. I'm in the like one man run and gun industry, so it's not that deep.
Okay,
shit going on.
Okay, all right. And so it's really about controlling your content at the end of the day. Absolutely.
Telling the best stories, making the best content, and always leveling up. Like I just changed something this week that I think is going to significantly increase my platform.
Okay.
And so always being able to look in the mirror and say like, well, okay, why are we doing this? Could we do this better? What should we change? What should we adapt to?
Same thing we do over here at this on my platform. So absolutely, man. Something I ask everybody that come on the show before I close the show. You can pick one or the other. Love or loyalty. And why did you pick the one that you picked?
They go hand in hand, dude. They go hand in hand. Because if I love you, I'm going to be loyal to you. I'm not going to be loyal to you and hate you. That's a really weird situation. So hand in hand.
What's crazy is you've been one of my favorite guests. It's my 179th episode. Like I said, I love when we do episodes and we have a breakthrough moment. And I feel like we had a breakthrough moment with you. I feel like the community that was asking those questions at the beginning of the show, by the end of this episode, are completely crystal clear on what you are, what you stand for, and what you are about. You know what I mean? And that's all that I was trying to get clear on here. I was also trying to pick your brain because I'm trying to make money off of the same people that you're making money off of with content and YouTube. So I wanted to get around you to pick your brain about some of that. But I also wanted my audience, my community. Like Mike said, our audience is 99% Black. You know what I mean? Most of my audience are older. So their kids are Kia boys age, or kids in that realm age, or even kids who consume a lot of YouTube, which you're big on YouTube. So I want them to have a clear communication and conversation with somebody like you, because I feel like you're more of a value to what we're doing than you're hindering what we're doing. You know what I mean?
I would like to think so.
Absolutely. So with the love or loyalty answer, that's usually the best answer, is both. There's no right or wrong answer, but the answer is usually both. You can't really have one without the other. So I wanted to applaud you on that. Like I said, being one of my favorite guests, I feel like we had a breakthrough moment on here. I think you're crystal clear on what people were saying, and I think people are crystal clear on how you feel about, who's all culpable and who's all responsible for the issues that you may expose on your channel. You understand what I'm saying? So
I guess we could go into another hour-long conversation about this, but I think we can't underestimate the importance of our own. Action is the ink that writes the story of your life. And each little thing we do really does matter. The piece of trash that we decide to either throw out the window of our car or put in the trash can, that impacts everyone around us. Whether we help an old lady walk across the street, or all these little things build up over and over and over. And you can't boil the whole ocean, but you can boil your pot. And I applaud people that are trying to boil their own pot and make things happen and take a difference. For sure. So like I said, man, on that note, this was episode 179 of the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. Shout out to our guest, YouTuber Tommy G. You know what I'm saying, bro? Keep up the good work. Appreciate you.
We salute you. I think what you're doing is very dope. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just wish you the best. Let people know where they can find you at online and all in YouTube and all these places. YouTube, Tommy G, if you want to see documentaries with all sorts of people in all sorts of places, I'll take you on an adventure with me. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next episode. Man, we appreciate you having you, bro. Appreciate you sliding on us tonight. And we will see y'all next week. We are out.
He did that like a pro.